Hey, welcome back. So today we're going to go ahead and give this another shot because as you saw last time that I was doing any kind of T-post work, that the T-post driver that I had completely fell apart. Well, whoa, this thing's hot. Yeah, it's really super hot outside today. So let me go ahead, get my gloves on, because everything that sits out in this sun just gets blazing hot. And yeah, actually, I don't know if it can actually burn you. I would imagine it probably could. It's just hot enough to where it's super uncomfortable. So last time we saw that the T-post driver failed, even though it was professionally welded and everything. So these guys went through the process of actually taking an additional, even thicker piece of steel. I'm not really sure. I didn't measure it. It looks like it's pretty dang close to 1/4 inch though. But they have the original square tubing inside here, but what they did was they went ahead and slapped on 1/4 inch, I think it's 1/4 inch steel all the way around it, and then put a bead around there, and then also added these fins on top of that to the shank. So now the shank has all these welds with these fins, and the fins are welded here. I mean, it's just, this thing is unbelievably solid. So we're gonna put it to the test today to see how it stands up against T-post driving, because I am just bound and determined to get this to work. And I think that we're gonna have a winner on this one, because just based on the weight alone, it lets me know that this thing is really, if this doesn't work, I really don't like having to give up on something, but if this doesn't work, I mean, I don't understand what would work at this point if this doesn't, because that just looks like it's just unbelievably massive. As far as heavy duty, I would rank that way up there on that list of, like, if I was going to say something is heavy duty, that right there should be heavy duty, because those weld beads, oh, and they painted it again with silver. So I appreciate that. The outside of it will be preserved. The inside of it is the thing that's going to get like really all scarred up and stuff like that, just because, you know, I've got a massive rotary hammer here that's going to be pounding down. You got metal on metal, but the outside of it, I think that the outside of that will probably stay looking nice like that. So without further ado, I already have the propane cylinder turned on. So I think last time this took like, what, 11 pulls or something like that to get it to start, somewhere around there. Let's see how we do this time. Where is the choke? Oh wait, this doesn't have a, wait, yes it does have a choke. And the choke is, there we go. Choke is closed. Let's give it a shot. Let's see if we can't get this thing to fire up right away. Nope. Right. So that time it went a lot easier. Remember last time it took like a good, what was it, 11, 12, somewhere around there. All right. So you can see I already have this one partially driven with the T-post driver, because you got to have it started. But one thing is way up there, way too high, so you have to drive it down a little bit, because these are 8-foot T-posts, so they're really like some of the biggest T-posts that you can get. I don't know if there's a bigger size than 8 foot, but these are very large. So I did have to get my big giant ladder out to be able to slip this thing over the top, or I have to pound down on it a little bit with a T-post driver just to get it started. All right. Here we go. Let's give it a shot. Oh, and I also added, I forgot to mention that on all the T-posts that I'll be driving, I spray painted a white line so I know exactly how far down I want to go ahead and get the T-posts in the ground. But before I was just eyeballing it. Luckily I got pretty much close to like all of them. They're all like around 67 inches, so that right there is sprayed 67 inches from the top down. so I know how far to drive it in. All right, here we go. Let's give it a shot. This thing is so heavy. Alright. Love how no way to turn safety on or something like that. But I don't see any, there's like no evidence whatsoever that this thing is cracking or falling apart or doing anything like I saw with that other one. They drove that thing to the ground. No problem. But as I said before, it's all about being able to repeat, right? So if you can't repeat it, then like obviously that would be a failure. Because this thing has to last. It has to be able to drive a large number of T-posts. So make sure I got this one. I haven't spaced it about 7 feet. Just want to make sure I still have that right about where I want it. Alright, so 7 is right about here. And to start things off with, as mentioned, I do have to go ahead and dry this in a little bit by hand. For one, just to kind of get it steady in the ground. And for two, it's just too tall. I can't get that thing because it's so heavy. Reach up and slide over the top of this. I'll do a little bit of hand driving still. Alright, I'll put this on the other side so you can see the action in all its glory. Alright, it's a good thing it's like 100 degrees out. Man, I know I just love baking in the sun. Oh god. Whew. Pulling a bunch of heavy stuff around. Alright. Alrighty then. Let's see how we do with the second one. Let's get that cord out of the way. I don't really feel like rotary hammering cord in the ground. Well, all right, besides the fact that the post is insanely crooked, let's see if we can't go ahead and straighten this guy out. Probably doesn't look like it's that bad from your angle, but I tell you, from where I'm sitting. There we go. And how about this one that I just drove to? It's just a little crooked. There we go. That's good. All right, so I think I'm going to declare this a winner, because not only was it able to go ahead and drive that one T-post in without too much trouble. I don't know why I just took my gloves off, because I was gonna pull this out, and I know this is gonna be hot, super hot, and it's actually gonna be even hotter because of all that energy from that hammer drill, or not hammer drill, rotary hammer. If that was a drill, we'd been in some serious trouble, because that thing was spinning around all over the place. Yeah, I think that we have a winner here. This is surviving the test without any issues. I don't see any cracks that are forming anywhere on it. It looks like it's still in pristine condition. And those welds are holding up like nobody's business. I don't see a single fracture at all along this thing. Okay, and as I said, repeating it is kind of key to being able to determine whether or not this was actually a success. And I was able to go ahead and knock out these two. And in full disclosure, I already knew this was going to work. And the reason why I already knew, and you might have already guessed, is that I've already driven a number of T-posts. And the reason why you're seeing this video now is because the other video that I had, my audio recorder, the batteries went dead. So, you know, the audio that I have that was on the camera was pretty much all nothing but wind noise and noise of the generator. And of course, this is also going to be playing a factor, but as I'm trying to narrate things, you couldn't hear anything I was saying because of all the above. So this was actually a follow-up to the follow-up, but the original follow-up, no audio. So the real test was probably about almost like 2 weeks ago, when I had driven some of these other T-posts. But today I have another project that I need to get done, and these T-posts have to be in the ground in order for me to be able to complete that project. So I figured, hey, you know, why not go ahead and just do the actual follow-up that I can post, because like I said, the other video just got completely messed up, and that's my fault. I should have checked the batteries to make sure that the batteries were good. And as a matter of fact, I should probably test out, or not test, but take a look just to make sure I am still recording, and I am. This is my little pocket recorder here that is hooked up to my lav mic that's under my shirt that you can't see. But I just wanted to take a glance just to make sure that it actually was still recording and that the batteries didn't die, because I swear sometimes my luck with making videos is really, really terrible. All right, so the guys that welded this, I'll be putting a link to their website below. So if you're in the San Antonio area, I would highly recommend these guys, because the initial version that they had put together didn't work. It fell apart, and they stood by their work. They went through and refactored it and made it work. And as I mentioned, I've got like a good four or five. I don't remember how many I did the last time. It was either 2 or 3, and then I just did an additional 2. So, and on top of that, this one right here, you saw how much of a pain that was. That I hit a rock or something. I just kind of stopped. I would have liked to have driven it down by like maybe another 3/4 of an inch or whatever, just to get that white line, you know, completely even with the ground. Not that big of a deal, but you know, just me being a little pedantic on having everything kind of be on the same height from the distance to the ground. I kind of wanted to get in there, but you have to start factoring in return on investment. And I wasn't really getting much. I'm not going to get much return on investment if I have to spend another half an hour driving that down for the 3/4 of an inch. That's a waste of time. I got other things I got to be doing. So, all right. So I think we've like I said, I think we got a winner here. Highly recommend these guys because they do stand by their work, and the price was really good too. I'm not going to say what the price is, just because I don't want to like pigeonhole them into committing to a price. The initial price that they gave me was based on never having put something like this together before. So they may have to like adjust up or down. So just give them a call, and you know, man, it's so hot. Just give them a call if you're in the San Antonio area and you need some custom fabrication or you need a custom T-post. All you have to do is just bring them the, well, depends on what kind of rotary hammer you have. For me, it's an SDS Max. So I just bought like a cheap SDS Max bit off of Amazon and then just chopped the tool part on the end of it off and just brought them that. And you know, they know now what they need to do in order for them to put something like this together and have it actually like stand up to all this crazy amount of force that's on it. So thanks a lot for watching my video and watching me sweat out here in the hot sun. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 posts to go. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the video here. Okay, so I was able to get all those T-posts driven. So that is mission complete. And I think that T-post driver that was custom fabricated just absolutely kicked some serious tail. There were a couple of snags that I hit though. The very next post that I drove that's not recorded, I hit a rock or something, a rock or a root or whatever. It took forever to get through it. And I was thinking about moving it, but then I was like, you know, let's just keep going. I mean, I'm just gonna keep hammering away at this thing and let's just see if I can go ahead and get past. It finally blasted through whatever it was that I was stuck on, whatever, if it was a root or a rock, I don't really know what it was, but I was probably hitting that thing for a good like 15 minutes or so before it finally started to make a little bit of progress. And then I think whatever it was, either it was a root that I cut through or it busted apart a rock, and then it was finally able. And once it got past that point, it drove the rest of it right down, no problem. And the other 2 posts beyond that one that I had to drive, all went in without hardly any problems at all. I just drove it straight down, especially the last one. The last one went down in seconds. It just, I think that the ground over there is because it's a little bit shaded. Maybe it has a little bit higher moisture content, because a lot of that stuff that's out there in the baking sun is just dry as heck, and it just turns into like, I mean, it's clay. So it turns into like solid super clay, and it's very, very difficult to go ahead and drive anything through it, which is why I'm so glad that I have that T-post driver that I can fit on to the rotary hammer. So thanks a lot for watching. And if you like these kinds of videos, then go ahead and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. I'd really appreciate it if you would. And if you haven't thumbs up the video and you really like the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up too. I would really appreciate that also. And I will see you guys next time, and I hope that you have a great day. Bye.